Hey, PTG fans, Proxy Table Gaming, Hyper G, and Lucky Sixes.
Hello.
Hello. Very regal.
I'm feeling very regal, actually.
How are you? Good,
Yeah.
good.
Um,
You are
I feel,
royalty,
I
PTG
feel like it.
royalty, you
Yeah,
know?
I feel like royalty today. I'm going to embrace it and just
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Very good. You've done that before.
right.
Yeah. Well, about 10 seconds ago, actually. But yeah.
Yeah. Then we practice this word for word.
Well, we do, yes. The dress rehearsals for these PTG videos are just so
Dress.
intense. Oh, I think I meant stress rehearsal, actually. But yeah. Mm. Shall we do a battle report?
Yep. Apparently, I
All
want to
right.
whiz straight through it, but yes, here we are for Cardiff Open, round number 3, midway, end of day 1. How you feeling?
Must play better. I mean, I decided that halfway through round two, and then round two just sort of played itself out, as
Petered
you
out.
know from watching the second battle report, which was not my finest hour. Um, oh no, actually, I hope it wasn't my worst hour either, because, like I say, I tried to play really relaxed in defeat. Um, the comments will tell us there.
Yeah, I haven't heard from Ad
We
yet.
haven't got to that yet. Yeah, haven't got to that yet because timings. But see,
Yeah,
So round three, I get to play a new opponent again. That's 3 rounds, 3 new opponents.
that's
I've never
pretty good.
played this person as well. It's really good. It's really good. So much so that I'm looking around the room and thinking, who else haven't I played? Can I make this a clean sweep?
That'd be
Because
amazing.
it's 3 out of 3 so far. It's Rob Cousins, who is TO, which is amazing.
Yes.
Um, so he's got like 10 different jobs during this battle, and fair
Mm.
play to him because he's also playing new army book Orcs and Goblins.
Yeah.
I guess fortunately for him, I kind of know what the Orcs and Goblins book does in terms of, like, I've been involved in it. I've looked at it. I haven't been involved in it. I haven't designed anything, but I've read it because I'm interested. And I'm still not playing them. What's going on there? I
Yeah.
don't know.
And he
Um,
also had the job of playing against another new book as well. So he had so
Yeah, I
many
guess so. Yeah. Although I will
cups.
say, Rob is incredibly relaxed about how he does
He
in the
is.
tournament, and he was literally just pushing models around, and that'll
Yeah.
that'll show in this one as well. But yeah,
And
my
speaking
list:
of
the Saurians,
yeah, speaking
and
of
then
his
his.
models he was pushing,
So what has he got? He's got
triple shaman. That's cool.
triple shaman, which I love. I think that's the way I would go if I was playing Orcs, honestly. Because you get Awaken the Beast in Shamanism, you get Cloak of Cinders in Pyromancy, and you get Smite the Unbeliever in Thaumaturgy. All
Mm.
do the same thing. That's so good. So good. Love that. So I really love the triple adept. Plus it's channel 3, can't ignore that either.
Mm.
He's got a magical heirloom for the Orc hereditary as well, which is kind of cool. I think that's like, is that +1 movement or no rerolls to hit, I think, something like that, which is very good. Yeah, it's got a warlord as well with the Omen of the Apocalypse. I will call it that. And, I know you call it that too.
Mm.
2 big blocks of Feral Orcs with bows. I mean, that's like, okay, are they coming at me or are they shooting me?
Mm.
And I didn't know.
Well, the
So, yeah.
ferals of nowadays, I guess, are more. They'd be more inclined to shoot you than get stuck in all the time. Huh?
Yeah, because if they can't go through something in one go, they get significantly worse.
Mm.
We'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 units of Goblin Reavers, very useful, very adaptable unit, really cool. They're the non-scoring ones,
Mm-hmm.
so they're like light troops and all that jazz. A big block of Iron Orcs, yes,
Yeah.
love it. And this is pretty much the list I would play if I was playing Orcs. I have
Cool.
to say, it's brilliant. I love this list, and when I went against it, I was like, brilliant. I'm going to enjoy
Mm.
this. 2 giants. Not sure I'd play 2 giants, but anyway. The beloved mascots gives the units that are involved in their combat hatred. So that's an extra layer of reroll to hit, which is really
Mm-hmm.
sweet. I did say to Rob before the battle, have you managed to pull that off yet? To get a giant in as well as another unit to give that other unit hatred? And he
Mm.
said he hadn't yet. So I tried my damnedest to make it work for him. Not really.
Help
But
a
yeah, we'll
brother
see.
out.
Absolutely, yeah. He's got an Iron Orc chariot. Those things are tough as nails, and I love them.
Yeah, they are really
If
good.
my boar chariot looked like an Iron Orc chariot, then I'd play it as that.
Surprised it didn't upgrade it to champion because
Yeah, yeah. I think. Do you have to have two in order to upgrade
oh,
one
do
to a
you?
champion?
Okay.
I think you do. I think you have to
So
have two.
well,
Yeah, I
then
think you either
it's
have
less
one
of a
on its own.
surprise.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I mean, it's changed a lot over the
Yeah,
iterations.
yeah.
But yeah, two wrecking teams again. They'd be in my list all day. And a Great Green Idol. I don't have one, but you know they're pretty cool. They give. I can't remember what effect they give these days, but anyway.
They give you ranks, I believe.
Yes, yeah, something like that. Yeah, yeah. So you can go in horde and still have ranks effectively, which is good for feral orc blocks as well.
Very much so.
Hold the center, and I think it was counter thrust. Hopefully the picture will back that up. But it was definitely hold the center.
That's what we tried to work out from the pictures, but yeah, here we are in deployment. Here we are.
Yeah, although is that am I wrong about counter thrust because
you've kind of got an arc.
Yeah.
On this side, so I'd
yeah, true. Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
Say, yeah.
No, I think we'll stick with counter thrust for now. Anyway, so let's go through his list. His deployment, he's got an Iron Orc chariot, which I guess actually is the same model I've got as a boar chariot. So I guess people are just doing that really. One giant. Then he's got a wrecking team. Then he's got his Great Green Idol behind it. Got Iron Orcs with the Apocalypse guy in. Then he's got another unit of spies behind the Iron Orcs and to the right of the Iron Orcs as we're looking at it. One big unit of Feral Orcs. They look like they're 8 wide. Yep, they're in horde. They're in line formation. And they've got a big spread out unit of Feral Orcs with bows. Well, technically they've both got bows, but that's obviously indicating which one's going to fight and which one's going to shoot. He's got another giant hiding behind the hill, and then a wrecking team all the way out wide. I have got a unit of skink hunters to try and keep the Iron Orc chariot. Well, not busy, but give it something to think about. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got the Taurosaur with my Fiber Aegis, which I have deployed badly, and I tell Rob I've deployed that badly as soon as he starts shooting at me.
So you played what? It's because you play warriors twice who don't have shooting.
I know. Yeah,
and then suddenly you have
I forgot what shooting is. Yeah. And it's not even much shooting either, but still, I shouldn't be deploying my 5 Aegis to shooting on a flank where he can only affect one unit. I mean, what am I doing? This is must play better territory again.
Yeah, right.
It's not changed yet. It's still the same day. I haven't stepped yet. I haven't reached out to Battlers.
That's true.
Yeah. Got my Tega Warriors with the Veteran in and the Thyro. Behind them is the Skink Warriors, the only survivors from the last round. They're probably teasing everyone, saying, "We survived that warrior battle. You did." The Tega Guard in the middle, the Tega Mystics behind them. You know the unit hunters. There's the Stygiasaurs on the right with the Ramphidons, and I think I Toad Rage a Present Giant on that side. I think, but we might see the token later on. There we go. We're all going for the center, and we've got some big scoring, beefy blocks in the center.
Yeah, man.
I go first, and I run for the center. Basically, I decide
and redeploy the Taurosaur.
And redeploy the Taurosaur. Yeah, absolutely. It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's absolutely ridiculous.
I like it. You've corrected it. You've already corrected your mistakes.
I know. The only problem is that 3D3 impact hits is really not zoning anyone there.
Late game. Late game. It's fun.
Exactly. Oh, well, funny you should say that. Anyway, yeah, the skink hunters go all the way out because we've got the hill to deal with, and I just want to blink at the chariot later if I can. Other than that, my Ramphidons I think they vanguarded over that terrain piece, whatever it was, and then they stopped there.
Are they still facing that way?
Who knows? I think they are. But if they get frenzy checked into the giant, I'm okay with that because I've got the toad on it.
Sure.
And if I get frenzy checked by the wrecking team, I can still declare a charge on the giant and try and plink the wrecking team elsewise. Yeah. So that's okay with it anyway. He takes a turn. He moves his spies up to chaff both my units, and I'm okay with that because I can still get within 6 inches of the center, whether I'm in combat or not. Oh, and I could also charge them to clear them, So I don't mind that. That's okay. His wrecking team kind of doesn't get the memo about orcs wanting to fight and just goes and stands in front of his own orcs, which is a bit of an issue for him because it means he can't bring his iron orcs forward very much. He does keep back with his feral orcs as well, so both are going to be shooting me this turn.
Mm-hmm.
The Great Green Idol goes quite aggressive, but obviously I'm chaffed, so I can't do much about that. And similarly, the Giant comes quite aggressively forwards on that side as well. His Chariot just zones my Skink Hunters,
Yeah.
which is also fine. Over here, this wrecking team goes like 15 inches, which had me sweating when I saw a few 6s and 5s on the dice. But I was more than 18 away, so it wasn't like he was ever going to get me. But still, it does mean he's very much on me. And it also means that if I want to charge that Giant, because I could, knowing that I've got the Praetor on, I'm going to have to hit a wrecking team, which, yeah, we'll talk about that again later. Yeah. So yes, he shoots at my Skink Hunters with all his bows and 3 wound, only 3 wound because he's like hitting on 7s or 6s or something. And I rolled 666 on 3 dice for fortitude saves.
Screw playing better.
Yeah,
just roll
6s. I mean, you know, that's what you do, right? Roll 6s.
Yeah. It's not about playing better, mate.
Exactly. Yeah. So I failed my frenzy check.
Mm.
Now, the aforementioned plan about if I fail my frenzy check, I just charge the Giant. I don't know whether Rob read my brain, because he basically placed the wrecking team so that if I fail a frenzy check, I have to go through the wrecking team in order to charge the Giant. And so he countered my I'll just charge the Giant. Do you not fly over it? When I land on it, because he's right next to it.
But don't you just maximize so that you don't touch it?
I'll be off the board. I have to stay on the board.
Oh, that side.
Yeah. Let me go back to the other picture. I think it's the wrecking team's moved a bit.
Oh, you in its flank?
Yeah, I'm in the Giant's flank.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So all of the wrecking team needs. I
thought you were in the front.
Is touch a rampant on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, he foiled my "I'll charge the Giant, it'll be fine" plan.
Foiled your frenzy check.
Yeah, and the Rampantons are worth more than the wrecking team. Let's just say they don't get to fight the Giant.
Fair enough.
It does, like, I think it's 3d6.
Yeah.
That kills them all. So yeah, that's a shame. But again, it's my bad play. You know, I had a plan. The plan was foiled, flawed. So whatever.
But the plan again, it's just roll better.
Yeah, exactly. Just
roll
or get him to roll less 3d6 or whatever it was.
Well, yeah, I guess.
You
can't do anything about anybody else's roll.
True. Yeah, I should have rode more fortitudes for the wrecking team. I think he did exactly 8, actually. Well, you get your practice there. Anyway, so right, this is a good picture. This tells everything, doesn't it? I was really trying to get like overall shots. I redeploy my warriors ever so slightly to face the oncoming Giant and GGI, because I'm fine with that. I charge the Tegu Guard into the spies, because I'm thinking to myself, while the wrecking team's there, the Iron Orcs might not want to go through their own wrecking team to charge.
Yeah.
And even if they do, maybe I can buff up the Tegu Guard to take whatever comes anyway. And I think, despite how bad my Tegu Guard were in the last battle, I think they can outgrind Feral Orcs. I know there's a shed ton of them, but I should be able to outgrind them. And I'm bodyguard. Don't get worse in combat.
Well, that is.
If I can survive the first round of combat against them, then I think I can outgrind them.
Sure.
That's my thinking. And also, I am now within 6 inches of the penny in the middle. I've got 2 scoring here. He's only got his Iron Orcs, and yeah,
potentially his ferals.
Potentially, yeah, exactly. So there's that. I've now redeployed my Taurosaur perfectly, although I do need a bit of a gap to charge through.
He could not be more perfect.
He's providing his shooting buff.
He's great. He's great.
Yeah, and now my Stygosaurs and my Hunters on the right have realised that they are soloing this Giant now, without the Rampant support. But whatever. Yeah, I think they moved out of line of sight on that side. Oh yeah, that pile of dice. That pile of dice is my javelins. That's my javelins. I mean,
you disgrace me.
It's
disgrace
res 5,
me.
right? And
why have you still got those dice? Those dice have been cursed for you for about 10 years.
That's 12 dice. That's all their shots. I didn't
dice.
take out the good ones.
Throw those one
I
by
rolled one.
in a bin.
Only one was above 4. And I needed 6s. So, yeah. Unbelievable, right?
But
They're
above your bin, put
dice.
like those targets, or a baskgetball thing, and just one by one.
Well, the way I'm rolling, I'd miss.
Clear an afternoon in your diary.
Yeah.
One by one. Just throw them.
I should do a video of me chucking my dice.
In fact, actually, in the comment, pause this back, Rep. In the comments, tell us how Hyper-PTG should get rid of those dice.
Those green dice are gone. They should be gone, shouldn't
they? In what manner should he destroy them?
And if anyone else wants to buy me new dice as well,
that
would also
absolutely.
Be good,
and that'll be. We'll do a video on him destroying his dice.
Yeah, but I should stress that I should not blame my dice for everything, because this was another example of me being a terrible player at this game again. Because what do I do with my magic spells? I only go and target the bloody wrecking team. I mean, what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh Thankfully, I only do 2 out of 3 wounds.
Imagine if you kill it.
I know.
You got Evo as well, so actually Evo is pretty decent against the Great Green Idol, right?
Yeah, you'd think that, yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think the Great Green Idol was in line of sight, actually.
Sure.
But
that makes sense.
I think this was Touch of the Reaper, which technically, you do well to do 3 wounds to anything. But why am I not just doing his War Boss? I mean, for God's sake.
Yeah. Right,
I mean, his War Boss has got a 4-up Aegis. I think that's what saw me off. But there's so many other things I could do on. Hasten the Hour would have been better on a unit. I don't know. But Rob was like, yeah. I was like, okay.
Oh, goodness me.
I'm just such an idiot. So, going back to the hatred and the giants, right? I didn't see that giant was in the flank of the Tegu Guard.
Let's get back.
That's all. This is another. I can't even blame this on an impossible line of sight. I mean, it's a hell of a charge, right?
It does.
But he has got rerolls.
Yeah,
he's got rerolls. He's on a hill, and this is exactly what a giant wants: is to be on the flank, giving hatred to whatever unit comes in the front. That's a unit of Feral Orcs. I think I can grind out so long as I survive the first round of combat. That last part of that.
Give them hatred to make them better on the first round.
Yeah, is now grossly in danger because I am such an idiot at this game.
I'm excited. I'm excited for how this is going to go.
Yeah, good. The sun starts to shine, and I'm going to take that as a good omen, right? Because I can't play any worse than this. And a lot of these pictures now are going to be blazing dawn. So
okay,
it was such a beautiful sunset thing we had going here, me and Rob. It was, I almost asked him out on a date afterwards. It was so romantic. He's an attractive guy. But anyway, so he moves his Great Green Idol around the flank.
He's doing the 5 dice in lines thing as well. That's a good man.
Yeah, he's getting it ready. Sonny, it's true. He's got some of those green dice as well. Better for him. He manages to get off a -1 to wound spell. I think it is. I think it's Smite the Unbeliever or something on
right.
Well,
he's got 3. He's
got 3 of them. You can't stop everything. So yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
And I think this is. He's also fled my Skink Hunters on the right flank with the giant. I don't know how I've done 2 wounds to him. I think it was a swarm of insects actually. So it wasn't only the wrecking team that I was doing things on. The wrecking team, by the way, the wrecking team has gone through my Tegu warriors at this point.
Yes,
the one in front
to get rid of 5 of them.
Like, it was nothing really. It was really not scary.
They're almost better to let them go through you than to deal with them.
Yes, absolutely.
You got it's got to be the right thing. Obviously, they can go through stuff, but if you've got a big block, it's not terrible.
Exactly, killing 5 is worth 95 points or whatever it is. So,
I think so.
But you shouldn't target it with magic when it's blocking your opponents. Anywho, the sunlight that was shining down on this is beautiful, but it doesn't disguise the fact that I took an absolute pasting with my Tegu Guard. Went down to what's that? 8 left out of 24, I think it is. So I lost 2/3 of my unit.
But bodyguard.
But I am bodyguard and I stick. and he hasn't got hatred anymore because of the giant, obviously, and he
Beneficial.
hasn't got his weapons anymore. He's down to crude weapons, which is just hand weapon, so 1 attack each. Well, actually, if he gets another unit, he'll still have 2 attacks each. Well, the giant counts for that actually, so I think he's got 2 attacks in the front. He was using spears to get an extra rank.
Okay.
Because it gave him AP against my 3-up armor save.
Sure.
So because he had the giant in combat as well, it counts as another unit in combat, which gave his Feral Orcs 2 attacks each. So he pretty much had paired weapons and spears. Next turn, he will have 2 attacks each as the giant's there, but he won't have any strength buff or AP buff or anything like that. So the grind is still on, but I've only got 8. And yeah, I was kind of hoping I'd have a bit more.
Isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. Defend the past sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I reform like so to go a little bit wider and get more in.
And so does he.
And so does he. But the only reason I do this is so that I can now get the Taurosaur to charge into the giant.
Yes.
So you see, that redeployment has paid off because it's only going to be turn 3, and I'm already charging.
You've lured him into your trap.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
Too right, yeah. So there's that. What is this? Oh yeah, there's the Taurosaur charging. I
like this.
In
I like this because it looks like the Sigilsaurs are charging us.
Is that where we are? He's brilliant. Yeah, well, no,
I'm not going to move.
I mean, you know, we haven't. So I'm confident the Sigilsaurs will be all right against the giant as well.
Sure, and it's got a few wounds on it already, so maybe that.
Yeah, I can't see the prey scent token. Maybe it was on something else, but I don't know what. Oh, it's on the Feral Orcs at the back, actually. That was where my Ramphilons were supposed to be going.
Oh, right, yeah.
They were supposed to be going to kill all 3 Shamans, which he's got sitting in that unit. But yeah, never mind. So Taurosaur gets in, and we measured this a lot to find out if the Taurosaur had room to get in, by the way.
Sure.
And it was doing that at this time that I was reforming the Tegu Guard, so that we could agree on it before my turn, and I wouldn't have to declare a charge, etc. And we agreed it was possible because my Tegu warriors are square. They're 7x7. It's exactly square movement tray, so I can turn them around without having any issues. Why on earth have I turned sideways? I'm trying to work it out.
Presumably, he can't get both his Iron Orcs and the Raiders in, so you're not worried about because of where the Raiders are.
Yeah, because the Raiders will block the Iron Orcs.
Perhaps that changes depending on the combat over here. Don't know.
Yeah, it could still clip if the Giant's gone and stuff.
But it doesn't look like, and as it stands, it doesn't look like he can get into the flank, and then you're just making sure the Great Green Idol doesn't get in.
With the Iron Orc as well, because both of them in the flank would be a problem, and I don't have any chaff in range over there. So that pretty much susses what I was obviously thinking at the time. The grind goes well. It goes very well.
A bit of magic as well.
Absolutely, a little bit of magic. I get Spectral Blades to reroll to wound on the Taurosaur, which is important for the impact hits because obviously he's only wounding on 3s, so that's massive for the impact hits. I get Awaken the Beast on Resilience on the Tegu Guard, and I have a really good magic phase. I also get the healing spell to grow back for Tegu Guard.
Oh, great!
So that's why I've only lost. I think I've lost 5 overall. And his attacks were still relatively high. So even with crude weapons, they were still having lots of dice to throw.
Yep.
But the important thing is that the Taurosaur kills the giant with impact hits alone. And that's huge. Because it meant the giant did not swing. Which is massive, you know. And sorry, it wasn't impact hits alone. The skink on top finished it off.
Oh, even better.
With the last dice, basically. He's only like strength 4 or 5.
And are you directly able to run into the Feral Orcs afterwards?
We will see.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I can't remember, actually. Why can't I remember that?
Well, we'll see.
We'll find out in the next picture, but yeah.
They were steadfast?
Yes, he has more ranks than I do. Yes.
And over here.
Find out in a minute. Over here, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we turn the giant around because it's head clashing
for
with
ease.
club.
Yeah.
But the
it's not
Stygosaurs
some
are doing well.
weird sexual thing that's going on.
No. The Stygosaurs are doing well, and that's as expected. So, happy about that.
Long tongue.
Yeah.
I'm never here.
I don't think I've moved the Taurosaur yet. It's just another picture, isn't it?
Yeah,
it looks like I've not pursued with the Taurosaur. I think I chose not to pursue because I was now happy with the grind between my Tigger Guard and the Ferals.
Yeah.
Because that can go on a long time now. And so long as I take them away from the right-hand side, maybe I don't know if I can or not. But I'm 2 scoring units with the penny.
Yep.
So's he.
Yep.
We're drawing at the moment. But yeah, I'm happy with the grind, so I don't overrun with the Taurosaur.
Fair enough.
I didn't want to take on the Taurosaur with the Iron Orcs about because they would just crush him into goo.
And it looks like he didn't go into your.
No, it didn't go into the Warriors. He
Warriors.
moved around the flank again with the GGI, which is proving a real pain because I can't just keep turning around.
Yes. Eventually,
and I'm actually not able to charge anything. Yeah. So at some point, I'm going to have to accept it. He gets smite on me to reduce my strength, I think.
Sure.
Or resilience or something. And he gets another spell off on him as well. He shoots with his spies on kills 2 hunters, which is fair enough. And yeah, because it was his turn and he gets magic off, he kills a fair few more Tigger Guard.
That grind is looking grindy.
That grind's not looking as good now. It's like literally up and down, which is just crazy, really. My Stygosaur didn't do anywhere near as well second round of combat as it did the first, because I lose a Stygosaur, which wasn't part of the plan. He did but he had got extra attacks. I don't know why. I think I must have run it down. It didn't go very far. Rather than, I'm not sure why that ended up like that, because the Stygosaurs. Oh no! Off the charge, the Stygosaurs were attacking at the same time as the giant. That's why.
Okay.
Which is why he gets extra attacks and kills more. Yeah, that makes more sense. And then I kill him with what I've got left, or the same, the 2 guys. Yeah, so he's now
looks like he then went wider with his.
He went even
so
wider.
That you couldn't charge your
Taurosaur into the Iron Orcs. Yeah, well, even if I wanted to, I'm not sure I would have wanted to anyway, because they can have great weapons and they would kill a Taurosaur.
And the apocalypse, right?
Exactly, yeah. But still, he's fine. He's done that. I think maybe to stop me getting a flank charge with the Taurosaur on the Ferals. I don't know, because that would change where everyone is.
That's true.
That's him using a combat reform correctly, like I should have done last time. But anyway, I also charged the Mystics into the flank because I want to finish this grind and hope that I can keep a couple of Tigger Guard alive, rather than losing all of them. And the Taurosaur obviously goes in. Boom. And that's the result. I only lose 1 Tigger Guard because the Mystics and the Taurosaur are obviously doing their attacks first.
Yeah.
And it kills so many Feral Orcs that he only kills 1 Tigger Guard. He does blink a wound on the Anorak, but that's okay.
Is the Taurosaur catch him?
The Taurosaur catches the Feral Orcs, which is where my hunters then step in to stand in front of the Iron Orcs. You would think I would put the hunters in the correct place, wouldn't you? Because looking at that picture, that is just not blocking the charge into the overrun into the Taurosaur in the slightest.
I was hoping it was a camera slight, if I was honest.
Well, the issue I got, right, is that the Taurosaur is overrun after I place the hunters.
Okay, yeah.
So there is that, but I could still easily slant those hunters to be a very different direction before I know what the Taurosaur does. So there isn't really an excuse for where those hunters are directing. And quite clearly, the Iron Orcs charge, knowing they've got an overrun.
And the chariot.
And the chariot charges in as well, because that was hanging
conga,
around.
Baby.
And then he congers, with his spies. He knows the chariot isn't going to be there, but which is why congering with the spies will stop my warriors from getting into his Iron Orcs, however they end up in the Taurosaur. So yeah, Rob's outplaying me with all the right moves, and I take another wound on the Anorak. I think it was no, he's shooting me. He's shooting me, yeah. I think the Taurosaur was in range, but I failed 1 or 2 Aegis saves, which is fine. I've got a champion and the Anorak left. The only defense I have against the GGI in my rear is now a Skink Chief. He does his job and goes down. Actually, does a wound
for a wound. Well. Did he?
Yeah,
amazing. What lad?
Good lad. Yeah.
What a blow?
Something did. I'll give it to him anyway, but it might be something else. Yeah. So yeah, that's the consequence. The chariot crisscrosses the Inox.
Oh right, yeah, I couldn't see it.
Basically,
you haven't killed it, have you?
No. The chariot overruns first, hits the Taurosaur as well. Then the Inox, crisscross. I don't know. We were having such a fun game. I don't really remember working out the lines on that one, but it's fine. Either way, I was just the Taurosaur's dead, and it's because of me. So whatever. So in my turn, I declare a charge with just my Tegu veteran into the spies. And because of the way it was, why did he have to close the door? Why have they ended up there? I don't know.
I think this is after combat. It must be because you only killed.
Yes, I've killed one
champion. You killed a champion.
No.
Get rid of the dice.
I know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if we went back to the list, he didn't have a champion in the spies. Why would you have a champion in the spies? They're just chaff. And yeah, this is after combat. Yeah, how ridiculous. And obviously, my warriors are still floundering because they've been chaffed all game, and they will be. Well, I need my tech guy to go through them in his turn, because otherwise they're chaffed for my next turn, which would be a disaster. I've also moved my skink warriors into the middle to contest the objective, and that's what we're measuring there.
Yep.
So I think at the end of this turn, because this is my 4th, so this is top of the 4th. So at the end of this turn, he'll only have his Iron Orcs, and I will have my 2 units.
Okay.
So
that makes you 2-1 up, or 2-0
1-0. I think it's 1-0.
Okay.
1-0 because the Feral Orcs managed to get in when they were in combat with the Taker Guard. So, yeah. So I think it's 1-0 to me. I think so anyway.
And he kills the Taurosaur.
Kills the Taurosaur, of course, because I'm stupid. And the Iron Orc chariot overruns into the Mystics, which, again, the Mystics were going on a bit of a mission to assassinate his shamans, but I'm not sure why I was ignoring the overrun.
You're very confident the Taurosaur's going to hold there, my friend.
Well, I'm not. I'm not, though. Even in the battle, I'm not. So I don't know why my Mystics have done that. So again, what have I played this game before?
Yes.
So yeah, and the Iron Orc will kill them. We are close for time because a lot is going on that's taking Rob's attention. So I'm not putting that on anything other than, so the pictures are a little bit drying out here. But effectively,
his ferals also go into your Mystics.
Yeah, his ferals also go into the Mystics, which brings them forward, which is an interesting thing. He charges, so he kills the Taurosaur, reforms, and then because I think I'm still dealing with the spies on the left and can't charge my warriors into his Iron Orcs, or don't want to, one or the other. And because of that, his Iron Orcs are able to charge my Tegu Guard and Anorak, and I can't flee because I'm fearless.
Yeah.
And so I think I hold them up for a turn or two because I issue a duel with my champion, and then he can't kill the guard, or I hope he can't kill the Anorak, but he does kill the Anorak. And there's that.
But either way, after a couple of turns,
yeah, exactly. So I will lose the points. And this is the last picture, but a lot actually happens in terms of points, and it's quite important, really. So I don't know why I've still got Taker Guard on the board. He's definitely dead. Effectively, because that's my Tegu veteran, that is, standing in the middle. Because my Tegu veteran does kill the spies eventually, although 4 of them rally. They're not dead because he didn't go through them all.
Nice.
Because my Tegu veteran manages to get free of the spies, he then marches to block the Iron Orcs from reforming No, they do reform. Anyway, ignore that because that's afterwards. This is hard when you've only got one picture to tell a whole story. But what you'll notice is his big block of ferals, the one with the bows, have gone.
Yeah.
The reason for that is I declared a charge with my warriors into his feral's flank because that's what the Mystics had managed to achieve.
Right.
He charged the ferals into the front of the Mystics alongside the Iron Orc chariot and then overran with the ferals. And that meant my warriors had a flank charge into the ferals.
Right.
And he fled it. And that because they would have died to my warriors getting into the flank of them. So he fled it. And he fled all the way through that building, took a heck of a load of dangerous terrains going through the building, and didn't rally on his following turn.
Oh.
And that meant, and the conclusion is the same as it was in the first round, I got all his shaman points and all his feral orc points because he fled that flank charge.
Nice.
So, did my Mystics actually achieve a lot by moving up there?
Was it a cunning plan?
Was it a cunning plan? And making the ferals charge them? I mean, arguably, yes.
So
right?
if you could put in the comments also how Rob should get rid of his dice. That would be great.
Well, I mean, his wasn't dice; it was just choosing to flee. But yeah,
I hear you. Did it to himself by here.
Who's the better player? No, not really. But anyway, this is the kind of like how he then reformed his Iron Orcs.
Yeah.
There was a lot of discussion about can you combat reform in the last turn of the game to get an objective, and we basically said, well, it doesn't actually matter because if you draw the objective in this turn, then I still win 1-0. So because of that, I do win the objective, and a heck of a lot of points I got on that final flee. And I've actually managed to keep my Tegel Warriors, my Veteran, my Stygosaurs alive, which isn't a lot, but it's still more than it could have been. And somehow I come out with a 10-10.
A 10-10, baby.
I'll tell you what, Rob does not deserve only a 10-10. Yeah, it's just under 250 points, and I can see you working it out now.
No, I was just thinking because of the objective. So you must have drawn the objective overall.
Oh. Maybe we did draw the objective. It's right, anyway. It's right.
Yeah. He's the TO. Yeah. He does what he wants, you know.
So yeah. No, maybe we did draw. Maybe me winning that objective on that one turn was actually drawing it from earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know when I lost it. When I lost the objective.
Did you lose it once when the Tegu guard had been killed a bit, maybe, and then you regained it later on?
Yes. No, I think that must be it. Yeah, when we saw the picture of me measuring the skinks, or Rob measuring the skinks, that was me regaining it after the Tegu guard had been ground down. That makes more sense. So yes, I don't win the objective, but I do draw. And I actually come out with more victory points, which is, I win, right? I win.
Absolutely.
Moral victory. But I have to say, I definitely have to say this. I think Rob fled with his feral orcs because he wasn't really switched on in a winning, I must win this game mentality. He was very relaxed. His attention was on TOing. And I think on another day, he would have made different decisions that would have meant he won this one big. Because I think he played far better than I did. And I think him saying flee on those feral orcs was a bit like, I'll just flee kind of thing, as opposed to, is this going to give your opponent 4 victory points?
Sure.
Because it effectively did, because it was 3 shamans and a whole big block of ferals. So, I think it was actually the Stygosaur that charged them off, actually, rather than them failing to rally.
Okay, so yeah.
I think the Stygosaurs charged them off. Exactly, yeah. So I think that's why I got the points, not a failed rally. But I'll tell you what, Rob's a great guy, and I really enjoyed this. And his list is superb. His list is superb. I would play that list any day. I mean, maybe not the Giants, but I proved how they can work. So, yeah. Oh, man. Must play
playing the long game. Playing the long game.
I don't know how I've come out with a 10-10 on this one as well. I mean, I did against Cluzy as well. But that one, I felt like I earned that because I played better towards the end. Whereas this one, I think I got a bit lucky that Rob was not switched on to this as much.
Sure. So the end of day one, 21 points, 2 draws and a loss.
Yeah. It could be a lot worse. It could be so worse. It really could. I don't deserve 21 points. Maybe 3 at a push. No, that's false. I did play pretty well in the latter part of the Cluzy game to get a few points there.
Yeah.
This one, I guess I got the points somehow. It doesn't really matter how your opponent ends up giving them to you or not. But yeah, it's not my best tournament in terms of good play. But I have come out with 21 points, which isn't that much further down than the halfway point. So it's all to play for still. And I've only lost 1 game. So you've got to think about that as well.
3.
So, So yeah, I've held 2 of my opponents, even if it's not been my most glorious. And there we go. Yeah. So on to new day. Playing Chris Crawford in the morning, who is another new opponent.
Yes, baby.
Brilliant. 4 out of 4. Well done. Loving that. So yeah, I'll see what he's got. Oh, guess what? Guess what Chris is playing?
What could he be playing?
You know how I dropped divination to play evocation because I never
because you never played demons. Yeah,
never played demons. Chris is demons.
Although
divination when you need it.
Technically, is he demons?
No, he's legions of sin.
Technically,
still demons. Still demons. Anyway, yeah. So give me some comments on how terribly I played that one. How did I come up with 10 points? Because I still don't really know. Just how do I be a better player? Like, I've been playing for many, many years, and I'm still this crap. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. I can't even blame the Saurians much in that one. The Saurians just did what I told them to, and this was the bad moves. But yeah,
you sure? You sure go over there? But you sure? All right.
What, face this way? Really? You know, there's a unit of Iron Orcs there in my flank.
Let them charge my flank. Okay, yeah. Master plan, guys. It's the master plan, guys.
I mean, the Mystics followed the master plan. They followed the plan, and it paid off. But yeah. Anywho, great. That's another one in the bank. Let's hope I play better day 2.
Day 2, baby. Bring on the cheers. Until then, see you later.